everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. Welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. If you're new to my channel, a special hello. You are in luck because it's time for the birthday month book haul. This was originally just a birthday book haul, but because of all the shipping delays globally with books nowadays, a lot of books have come late, which I'm totally fine with. Like, thank you everybody who has sent books. I have quite a few books next to me and thank you so much. And let's go ahead and show you guys a mix of everything that I got. So the first book I actually got is Donut Fall in Love. This is by Jackie Lau. So it was actually gifted to me by Penguin Randomhouse. And this book comes out on October 26th. Thank you so much to Penguin Randomhouse. This is the first Penguin Randomhouse like finished copy or ARC I have ever received. Especially as a predominantly nonfiction booktuber, I've been dabbling more and more in fiction that involves food, and this is definitely a rom-com. And this is about an actor who comes back to Toronto after his most recent rom-com has flopped, and he meets Lindsay, who works at a donuts specialty shop, and their relationship gets off to a messy start. Sounds like enemies to lovers, and I'm so excited. I will be doing a separate vlog for this specific book, which you can see first on my Patreon, but I will have on my main channel. But first, thank you so much, Penguin Randomhouse, for sending this to me. And again, this should be on shelves October 26th. Sticking with fiction, the next book up I have is The Heartbreak Bakery by A.R. Capita. This was on my birthday wish list, so thank you so much. I'm so glad I got this. And this essentially is all about our protagonist, Sid, with no pronouns. Sid has a recipe that unfortunately is making everyone who eats these brownies, these couples keep breaking up. And I'm really just gonna leave it high level and leave it there. I'm very excited. I'm trying to also find for the spring a young adult and a fiction option, a rom-com option for a special Valentine's Day blind date with a book box. And I want to have an LGBTQIA+ book. Mystery book, obviously. You're not gonna, one for each genre, and work with a chocolatier here locally in New York. That the chocolatier company, the business, is also owned by it's a queer-owned business. So I'm hoping that this could be a contender, and I'll let you guys know. Another October 2021 release, and this is definitely in young adult. This is Where There's a Whisk. This is a not a dating show, sorry. This is a cooking competition between a couple of different young adults. Peyton Sinclair, she is the protagonist, and she is on Top Teen Chef. Since this is a new release, why don't I go ahead and read the inside for you. Peyton Sinclair wants nothing more than to escape her life as a diner waitress in her small North Florida town and attend culinary school in New York City. And Top Teen Chef, Food TV's new show, Food TV is a real original name. Food TV's new show that pairs reality TV drama with a fast-paced culinary competition is her ticket out of her dead-end future. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to make her dreams come true and to prove to herself and the world that where you're born does not determine where you can go. However, once on the show, Peyton quickly discovers that the network wants ratings and drama, so she's given two choices: play the stereotyped and scripted role of the poor underdog or get a one-way ticket back home. As the competition heats up, Peyton will have to show the judges that she deserves to win while trying to untangle what is real and what is scripted before her dreams end up on the chopping block. Next up on the list is Vanessa Yu's Magical Tea Shop by Roselle Lim. This is from the author of, oh my gosh, I just finished it this month. So the first book I actually read in October was Natalie Tan's Book of Luck and Fortune, and I really loved this book. I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up, but I found out that Roselle Lim had a new book, and that was Vanessa Yu's Magical Paris Tea Shop. So I am super excited to read this one. I don't think it came out this year, but I think it's pretty new. 2020, so still a pretty recent release. And I'm just so excited. This actually could be a really good book for like a read it and eat box, that maybe you get a book about the history of tea and a fiction book. Let me know below, would you ever want Read It and Eat to give you two books in a box, one that's fiction and one that's nonfiction, and focus around a single food item? I'm always trying to think of how to what the next cool part of the program could be. Continuing on in the rom-com foodie area, we have So We Meet Again by Suzanne Park. She is the author of Loathe at First Sight, and I believe this one is about an investment banker named Jessie Kim. She's laid off and she moves back home, and I guess her childhood enemies to lovers, like her childhood friend's family owns an Asian grocery store nearby, and it's this childhood friend who convinces her to relaunch her YouTube channel, where she makes easy meal prep for busy professionals. So enemies to lovers, probably. I feel like that's the usual thing with food and rom-coms right now, but I am loving this new adventure I have into the foodie romance space. I might actually be able to make a list at the end of the month of like 10 books I think you could read. Another book in this space would be The Kindred Spirit Supper Club by Amy E. Reichert. She is the author of The Optimist Guide of Letting Go, and I think she's also the author of The Curious Cake of The Coincidence of Coconut Cake, I believe is the other one. Yes, this has the Barnes & Noble's 50% sticker on it, but it was a gift. So sometimes when Dan and I go to Barnes & Noble's, he'll just buy me a book as a gift. It counted towards the birthday month, so yes, the sticker's still on it. No, he didn't wrap it. I don't really care. And finally, for, I think, fiction, I might have one more. Fairy Godmothers, Inc. by Sarana DeWild. It's the first in a new series, and it looks like it's some kind of happily ever after story, but they work in weddings and event planning, and I think the protagonist makes wedding cakes specifically. Again, another enemies to lovers kind of vibe is what I got from the back cover. And finally in this section, I have A Taste of Sugar by Maricel Vera. I got this in hardcover, which is amazing. I believe this is a 2021 release as well. Oh no, 2020, so still really new. And the inside cover says, a majestic work with the grand sweep of history and the intimacy of a compelling dream. An enthralling saga written in the tradition of great Latin American storytelling. The Taste of Sugar transports readers to the fragrant fincas of Puerto Rico, where beneath the shades of the banana and the guava trees, coffee berries ripen. It is 1898. The starving people, los habrinetos, roam the parched countryside. Under the yoke of the Spanish oppression, the Caribbean island is forced to prepare to wage war with the United States. Up in the mountainous coffee region of Utuado, Vicente Vega and Valentina Sanchez struggle to save their coffee farm from creditors. They're helped by Vicente's parents, Raul, whose intentions towards Valentina are anything but fatherly, and cigar-smoking Angelina, who can't refuse a meal to any hamburriento. Just as the harvest finally picks up, the San Ciriaco hurricane of 1899 devastates the island, killing 3,369 people and leaving thousands more homeless. Weeks go by without aid from the Americans, victors of the Spanish-American War, Puerto Rico's supposed liberators, but now oppressors. Where is the help from the great Republic of the North, the country of Washington, Hamilton, and Lincoln? Along with thousands of other Puerto Ricanos, Vicente and Valentina are lured to the sugar plantations of Hawaii, another U.S. territory, by the prospect of having a roof over their children's heads and a neighborhood school. Plenty of food and real beds where they can ease into sweet dreams. Segregated from other cane workers in the Puerto Rican-only camp, the family is confronted by the hollowness of the United States' promise and of prosperity and the question of whether they will ever see their homeland again. Wow. This sounds intense, but amazing. Again, this is Taste of Sugar. So those are all of the fiction books I've received in the month of October as gifts. Awesome. I'm so excited. So now let's move on to nonfiction. I'm going to try and go through this list a little bit fast and stop where there's any new 2021 releases. I got a couple of books from that are Michael Pollan. I'm trying to collect all of Michael Pollan's books. So I have Food Rules, and I got The Botany of Desire. I also want all of Mark Kurlansky's books. So I have Mark Kurlansky's book, The Last Fish Tale. What else do I have? Sorry, you're going to hear a lot of clunking. Oh, sorry, another fiction book, The Mezzanine by Nicholson Baker. This is very small. I guess we could probably even call it a novella. It's 130 pages. So that's in the fiction pile. This one I'm very excited about. This, I've been waiting for it to come out in paperback. Our Lady of Perpetual Hunger, a memoir by Lisa Donovan. She is a James Beard Award winner. And it's a story of making a life of love, of community, of commitment, but to the flame of creativity that somehow manages to burn against all odds. Lisa Donovan has written nothing less than a story of making a life in our times. She's a renowned pastry chef, in case you're wondering what the food connection is there. I also got another memoir this month, From Scratch by Tembi Locke. This came out, I think, in the last 2 years. It's been talked about on Booktube before, not really from a food writing perspective, but as a memoir. It is from Reese's Book Club. I hate that they printed the sticker right onto the cover jacket. I can't it's not a sticker. Like, I can't take it off. I hate that, but I am still very excited to read it. Next up, we have My Organic Life, How a Pioneering Chef Helped Shape the Way We Eat Today by Nora Poulion with Laura Frazier. I have Harvest, a field note from a far-flung pursuit of real food by Max Watman. Really cool. Ooh, wow, I'm surprised Daniel Ballou wrote an excerpt on the back of this cover. That's kudos to you, man. I also have, oh, this is fiction. Wow, I really didn't go through all of my books. This is Bread and Butter. This is a used book, apparently, and it is about 3 brothers, I think, that are... Bread and Butter is a mouth-watering story of 3 brothers who open... Bread and Butter is a mouth-watering story of 3 brothers who open competing restaurants in the same small town. So, another fiction book. Wow. I also got The Vertical Farm, Feeding the World in the 21st Century by Dr. Dixon Despommier. So I think this is the 10th anniversary edition, but this is all about vertical farming and how this sustainable farming practice could really save our lives in the future. And it's updated with a new look at the blossoming industry 10 years later. This is pretty cool. So it's a little bit more science and environmental science, but I am excited to learn about this. A 2019 book, Food or War by Julianne Cribb, another book I got, and Salt Wars, The Battle Over the Biggest Killer in the American Diet by Michael F. Jacobson. Cool cover, because it's salt in the corner. Yeah. And finally, The Grand Food Bargain and the Mindless Drive for More by Kevin D. Walker. This one, I received, it came from Talking Leaves, a local bookstore here in Buffalo, New York. So remember to support your local bookstores, especially with the holiday season coming up, everyone. This is another general public service announcement. Order your holiday gifts in advance and order them through your local bookstores. They are going to need all of the help they can get this holiday season. Sorry, I got really close to the camera in that moment. As a reminder, the holiday season is rapidly approaching. By the time this video goes up, it'll probably be the beginning of November. Just remember that small businesses need our help more than ever, so consider ordering all of your books or bookish goodies for your loved ones through a local bookstore. Order them now at the end of October or early November to allow for those longer shipping and lead times. We're already seeing delays across the industry, but your dollar that goes to that local bookstore will stay within your local economy, and that will help much more than these larger places. Try not to order your books from Amazon. Try not to order your books from Walmart or Target or Amazon. Like, really try to shop locally this year if you can, guys. Okay, this final pile are 2021 recent releases that I received as gifts in the nonfiction space. First up is Truffle Hound, On the Trail of the World's Most Seductive Scent with Dreamers, Schemers, and Some Extraordinary Dogs by Rowan Jacobson. He is the James Beard Award-winning author of A Geography of Oysters, which actually I don't think I have a Geography of Oysters, so now you know what I'm gonna buy. I love this cover. It's really cool. This came out, October, brand new. Also new this month, and this is a gift I pre-ordered for myself, so thank you, Previous Kim. Stanley Tucci's memoir, Taste, My Life Through Food. Stanley Tucci. I love Stanley Tucci. This was on this book was on in my Q1 videos, which I'll link down below and in the cards. This was one of my most anticipated books of 2021. It still is. We will see how I feel. Another book that came out this year is the Oral Biography Bourdain, the definitive oral biography by Laui Woollever. Again, as a reminder, Laui Woollever was Anthony Bourdain's longtime assistant. There are so many interviews on the back. Holy crap, look at this. People just adored Anthony. And finally on, well, at least what I have near here, Castro Obscura, A Food Adventurer's Guide by Cecily Wong and Dylan Thuras. This is such a cool book. Dan got this one for me. It's hardcover, and it's just like all of these cool foodie things from all over the world. Rosie Cockshut over on her channel actually just did a whole review of this. I think she read an arc of it, but I have the physical copy, and I was so excited to show it to her because it is beautiful. This is definitely a coffee table book, but I do not care. It is gorgeous. There is also one other Anthony Bourdain book that I have not received. My friend Josh has it. He pre-ordered it for my birthday. I will put the cover right here because I forget the name of it. But this book is written by Anthony Bourdain's longtime producer of his show Parts Unknown. Parts Unknown was the last show via CNN that Anthony Bourdain worked on before he died by suicide. So you now have an oral biography from his longtime assistant. You now have a biography / memoir from his longtime producer. Do I think more Bourdain books are coming? I don't know. I'm honestly kind of hoping it slows down a little bit. He's been gone a couple of years. It's been 3 years. So I'm assuming a lot of these books were written right at the time of his death and immediately after, and it's just taken a while to get them out into publication. But to end on a positive note, those were all the books I've received in the month of October in the form of gifts from other publishers or friends and loved ones. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comments below. First off, are you impressed with how many fiction books I've received and I am learning to read? What should I start with? What are you most excited to see? And hit me up in the comments below. On your way down, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.